Yeah, guys, I've just heard that the Santa Clara County coroner is, in fact, headed to the scene right now. Now, again, unconfirmed fatalities or injuries at this point, but we're also learning that SFATF is headed there to the scene. We're learning that 2 possible victims are at Valley Medical Center, with 2 more on the way, and 2 are expected at Stanford Medical Center at Stanford. And again, we want to just this just coming into our newsroom, the Santa Clara County coroner is headed to the scene at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. We're also hearing some really compelling tweets from witnesses that were on the scene. A woman named Joy tweeted out, quote, "I want to thank the festival worker who used her van and got everyone she possibly could out and picked up more people afterwards. I didn't get her name, but she really did everything possible to help others. Thank you for helping us out there." Another person tweeted out, "A family member of mine just ran from the Gilroy Garlic Festival because of an active shooter she said was standing on the stage shooting into the crowd." That's the very latest from the live news desk. Back to you guys.
Liz, thank you. We want to go to Betty Yu now, and she is live at Gilroy High School with the latest information for us. Betty, what can you tell us?
Juliet, we just arrived here at Gilroy High School, which is the command center for all the emergency crews and vehicles, and we are seeing a huge response. There's also a number of people, staff, festival attendees that are gathered here, and I'm just speaking with Sharma and his wife. They were working at the henna booth when shots rang out. Sharma, how are you feeling?
Shaken up, very much shaken up.
Can you walk us through what happened? I know you said that you were doing henna on a number of customers when you heard the gunfire.
These people were doing henna and they were hungry, so I went to get the cone for them. And when I was at the cone booth, 2 shots rang out first. And at the same time, the music started for the concert, so I thought it was like a opening act for the concert. But after a few seconds, there were so many shots, and I saw people falling down, kids falling down. I had to jump over 3 of the kids. 1 bullet passed me very closely, and it hit our friend's booth, her chair, and the shrapnel got into her leg also, so she is injured there.
Wow, and I know you said you injured your knee in the chaos of all of this.
Running over and jumping over people to get to my booth to make sure that everybody was safe. I hurt my knee also.
And we're sorry to hear that, but we're glad that you guys are safe. Tell me, what is your first name?
Nita.
Nita. And tell me, what were you doing at the time when the gunfire rang out?
We do henna, and we had a lot of customers. Like, we have 5 artists working, and I think we had 5 customers, and usually with customers there's family or friends. So I want to say there was at least 20 people in the booth, and our booth manager, when we heard the shots, and he knew something was wrong, and he just yelled out to everyone, just duck down, and we all just ducked, and then till people started directing and telling us leave and get out of there.
We're so glad to hear that you're safe, and thank you both for sharing your firsthand experience with us. We just got here on scene a few moments ago, so we will spend more time speaking to a number of eyewitnesses. There were several accounts of hearing the gunfire, seeing the gunman, and also seeing multiple witnesses. And as soon as we gather more information, we'll be sure to share that with you. Juliet?
All right, Betty, thank you so much. We also want to go, and we will check back with you momentarily. We want to go to our phoner now. Lex, are you on the line? All right. Lex, can you hear us? It's Juliet Goodrich and Brian Hackney in the KPIX studio. Lex, are you there? All right, we'll wait to connect with him, and we are told from our producers that Lex was there, and he was actually hit with some shrapnel, and so we don't know if he's at the hospital right now, but he was calling in. Lex, I'll try one more time. Are you there? All right, we'll circle back.
Yeah, those aerials make it look like this, at least the center of the response, this all happened near a band stage, a band that was playing, and it looks like it's not far from the entrance of the park right off Miller. And boy, you can see quite a police response. I'm assuming that we have not yet learned about number of victims in this.
No, and we have accounts of multiple victims or injuries or that sort of thing.
2 people on the way to Stanford. Right?
Yeah, that's what we have confirmed. And so at this point, we can for sure report that there are 2 people being taken to the hospital. And then obviously Lex was calling in and he was possibly injured, and we'll hear from him in a little while as well. But
online right now, we do have Jeff Harp. Can you hear us, our FBI analyst? Okay, good.
Yes,
Jeff,
I can hear you just fine.
You know, the understanding that we have is that if this is true, that this shooter managed to get some kind of an automatic weapon into the Garlic Festival down at Christmas Hill Park. How could he have done that if they've got people who are checking bags and all of that same at the entrance?
Well, but you're going to think again about the bag checks that are going on at entrances to events like this. I mean, you're not walking into a federal facility where they're really doing a really good search. And I'm not saying they didn't do a good search, but it's real. I mean, if you were taking an automatic weapon in there that was disassembled, you could secrete it into a bag that was unsuspecting, and you could get something like that in there without people noticing.
Do you have, from what you have heard about what's happened down at the Garlic Festival, is there any take from you about any theories about terrorism or just some nutcase with a gun? What do you think?
Well, I mean, my initial impression is this is probably somebody that has some mental health issues. They had an opportunistic person that saw a mass gathering, which we've seen this in the past, where these active shooters they prey on the mass of people that gather together, and they just go in there and wreak carnage. So I don't suspect any ties to terrorism at this point, although I would not rule that out. Obviously, until the investigation is done, they'll make that determination. But just my initial impression is, probably mental health issues, and somebody was able to get a weapon in there. The one thing that kind of strikes me as interesting is several of the interviews that I have seen that people have said they heard multiple sounds and what they thought was automatic weapon fire. I think what will be in the days to come, hours to come, will be a determination whether there was an automatic weapon or whether someone was just using a weapon able to fire it rapidly.
all right, and Jeff, we're looking at aerials now of the Garlic Festival, and obviously crowds are out, the area is secured, and they're still looking for this active shooter. And so what's the protocol now? Obviously people are in safe areas, they'll stay there, and now law enforcement out and about trying to find what we believe is just one shooter.
Yeah, and so that's, the struggle now is that crowd. I mean, if you look at the Garlic Festival, it brings nearly, 50,000 people that go to that festival. And so they're going to have to lock down the perimeter. They're going to have to try to sort through people. And I think I read an interview earlier where they had everybody coming out with their hands up, which is standard SOP for law enforcement, to try to sort through who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, because certainly someone with a weapon.
Are you there, Jeff?
Yeah.
Are you there? You said someone with a weapon. Obviously, they're looking at the area. Now the struggle is trying to find out where this person is amidst the crowd. And that may lead to why, when they cleared out people into an amphitheater and other areas, they had them put their hands up on their head just to try to, the daunting task of who's the shooter and who's in the crowd, correct?
One of the witnesses of the shooting was so close that they described running from the gunfire.
I just instinctively started running because I heard this man screaming behind me, that it's real, it's real. It just kept on repeating it. I just took off, and I saw people jumping over fences, and so I started running towards where the bus line was, and luckily there was the bus driver there was so good at keeping everybody calm and said, "Come on, get inside, get inside."
Yeah, we've continually heard that. Response was immediate, with support from Monterey County in the south to all of Santa Clara County. Video showing emergency vehicles and ambulance rushing to the scene amidst all of the chaos. We also saw helicopters arriving to get patients out of the area to nearby hospitals.
And here's a closer look at the area, just the topography of the area. That's Christmas Hill Park that you see in the green. That red exclamation point that you see is the site of the shooting. It took place on a stage where the band Tin Man was just playing one final encore song. Remember, this all happened with just 20 minutes left to go in the weekend festival. They were just beginning that final song when shots rang out.
Janet Shamlian is outside the Santa Clara Valley Medical Center in San Jose, which is treating 7 people hurt in the shooting. 2 of them are related to the young boy who died in that attack. Janet, what do we know about them?
There is nothing but heartbreak here this morning, Michelle. A 6-year-old boy, Stephen Romero, died in the attack. This morning, his parents, rather his mother and his grandmother, who were with him at the festival, are being treated here for gunshot wounds. We did speak to Stephen's father, and he said probably the only thing a parent in this situation could say is that it had been the worst day of his life. He is now here with his other family members. This is considered one of the leading trauma centers in the area. The hospital tells us that they are monitoring patients in conditions ranging from fair to critical condition. Several have had to have surgery, and one was treated and released overnight. Also, another couple is being treated here. They were also shot. They were selling honey at the festival. The man is on a ventilator this morning, but is expected to recover. Among the victims being treated elsewhere at a regional medical center in Gilroy and at Stanford are a 12-year-old girl, Leslie, a woman named Wendy Towner, and a man, Francisco Aguilar.
Get a report of a shooter at the Garlic Festival. Confirm a shooter. Guys, there's a shooter by the main stage.
Gilroy, confirm. I'm hearing multiple shots coming from the park.
Gary King 6. I'm in the area and it sounds like there's an active shooter in the park. People are running towards you. Start units, go please. We have several 911 callers. Got by the main theater.
Traffic. Gilroy paging, Chestnut, Los Animas, Sunrise, Battalion 47, active shooter. 7, you listen over. Have an active shooter at the Garlic Festival. You can start that way.
King 6, X-ray 1. Where are the shots coming from? Can you still hear them? Tom 1X1, is there a way to drive in other than the main gate off Miller?
Negative, come on straight down the main gate. Cut 297 main gate.
With one picked up, please, paramedic. 60 copy, we got one shooting victim at Miller and Hubert. I need an ambulance code 3.